Hello everyone, this is your Mad Yogi Aileen, bringing you the full Libra flow of our constellation series. And this one is closest to my heart because I'm a Libran. I was born in October. So honoring the archetype of Libra, we do have a lot of balancing poses and seated balancing poses as well. So if your sit bones and your coccyx and this whole SI joint complex needs some padding, if they're not happy with the balancing poses, please prepare for yourself a folded up towel or anything that can pad your coccyx and your sit bones for later. I also do have my straps here and my block option because I don't have my proper blocks anymore, but I do have a small stool here, which my lovely hubby did for me, which is block height. If you have a very small stool like this or a block height stool, you can use those as well, barring proper blocks. And let's get on to it. Come to the top of your mat, roll your shoulders, limber up a little bit, pop your heels even if you want to. Deep, full breath. And I will do it here at the top of front facing, camera facing first, so you can see what's happening. Yeah? And as per our usual, I always move around. You can always pause yourself and watch what's happening first and then rewind and come and join me. So from here, feet together. We are starting with our feet together. Yeah? Backs of the hands together. Soften the knees and wave the spine up. Wave the arms up in a small base or legs together, upward facing hands. Lengthening up here without crowding the shoulders to your ears, yeah? And without pressing your shoulder blades down either. Just neutral. Push your hips forward. Come into a shallow back bend. Just a very shallow one because the base of the body, our feet are together. So narrow base, shallow back bend. Squeeze the front line of your body to come out of that pose. Press your hands in. Press your elbows in. Make an effort to lift your elbows high, chin height if you can, or chest height. Don't drop them on your upper chest. Yeah, don't drop them here, parallel to the floor, and squeeze your arms. See, the only gap is between my wrists, if you can see that. So that's what we want. And with our legs together already, squeeze your knees in, close that gap between the legs, and allow that natural bend to happen. And we've already come into a high chair with my spear arms or my candle arms. Yeah? High chair with candle arms. The lower back here is neutral, the spine is neutral. We're just bending the legs. From here, elbows in front of your knees. So we've come into a very, very low chair with candle arms. Breathing. By the way, at the risk of stating the obvious, I do have a cross mat at the moment for this flow. If you have two mats, you're welcome to do this as well, but you can also just do this flow with just one mat. From here, left leg curls up, extend it to the back, extend that knee of the standing leg to come into a warrior 3 variation. You can pair this back by lifting the head up and bringing the foot a little lower, or maintain that parallel position, or indeed, if you want to, come into a deeper version of this pose. And as you can see, the deeper you go, the wobblier you can get. Release your hands down on the mat. Yeah? On your claw shape, hands or flat. That lifted leg, left leg, comes out to the right side. Feet more or less in line with each other in a curtsy lunge. This has a really nice lower abdominal massaging effect. Right arm waves up, shoulder, elbow, wrist, fingers, and you're trying to look up at that top hand. Don't bring that arm in an odd angle, yeah? When you wave your arm up, it should naturally already come into this vertical position. Then your top arm wraps around your back waist. As tight as you can get it. And that also encourages a bit more of a twist, looking up towards the ceiling, strongly lengthening for that top gluteal muscle. Release the pose, release your hands, curl your left leg up, step your feet back together, knees bend, backs of the hands in, push through your legs, wave the spine up, wave the arms up, lengthening up here in a narrow base, upward facing hands. Breathing. Then push your hips forward, shallow back bend. Squeeze the front line of your body to lift out of that pose. Hands in, elbows in, knees bend, squeeze the legs in. Don't overly think about bending the knees actually, just think about squeezing the legs in and they will naturally bend. High chair with candle arms. Making an effort to squeeze, to really press in your forearms. Elbows in front of the knees in a really low chair. Lots of abdominal compression in this first sequence. So if your belly isn't happy with this, open your legs a little bit, yeah? Standing on the left leg this time, the right leg curls up, extend to the back, lengthening out both knees and come into your warrior 3 variation. High head, low foot, parallel or low head and high foot. Release your hands to the corners of your mat, flat or in a claw shape, right leg out to the left side. Feet in line with each other in this position. Secure your right hand, yeah? Make it flat on the mat or on a block. Left arm waves up, shoulder, elbow, wrist, fingers, and follow through with your gaze. In a low curtsy lunge with a twist. Don't let that crossed leg behind become lazy and soften and slack. Engage that leg. Top arm wraps around your back waist. Breathing. And if you can encourage a bit more of a twist, you can do that too. Again, you'll feel that lengthening right here in your top gluteal and the muscles right up here, the higher parts of your gluteals. Release. Hands down on the mat. Let's make this nice and smooth now. Step your feet together. Forward fold. Backs of the hands in. Wave up. Lengthening up. Upward facing hands. Push the hips forward. Shallow back bend. Squeeze your upper back here, encouraging a chest opening. Squeeze the front line of your body to lift. Hands in, elbows in, legs squeeze in, high chair with candle arms. Breathing. Don't rush. Low chair with candle arms, elbows in front of the knees. Separate your fingers as well, by the way, but press your hands in. Standing on the right leg, left leg curls up, and choose the angle of your body. Hug and lift here. Even in this pose, you're squeezing towards the midline of the body. Release your hands down in the corners of your mat. Lifted leg out to the right side. Align your feet. Engage that back leg. Right arm waves up. Deep full breath. Top arm around your back waist. Now I'm going to throw something here, another option. Stick with your arm around your back waist or bend your back knee, interlace your fingers and your toes or hold on to your foot, whichever you want. Interlace your fingers and toes or just hold on to your foot and push through that standing leg and standing arm to lengthen them out. Squeeze this circle of your back from your legs, your hamstring, your gluteal, that side of your back, and your arm muscles. Squeezing to lift that leg up. And release. So we have 3 options after that. In that curtsy lunge. Let your head go. Knees bend, backs of the hands in, wave yourself up. Push your hips forward, shallow back bend. Squeeze your upper back, chest opening. Squeeze the front line of your body to lift. Hands in, elbows in, legs squeeze in. High chair with candle arms. We have a workshop on chair pose as well, by the way, Elbows in front of the knees. Low chair, very low chair, abdominal compression. Standing on the left leg, right leg curls up. Choose your angles. To lift that leg up, squeeze your gluteals. Release your hands, corners of your mat. Top leg crosses out to the back, curtsy lunge. Left arm waves up. Top arm around your back waist. Don't rush. Stay or bend your back knee. Hold on to the foot or interlace your fingers and your toes. Push through your standing limbs and squeeze the back line of the body. Deep full breath. This is a very quieting pose. It's very challenging, but also very quieting. Release the pose, soften down, and last round. Reset your feet, knees bend, backs of the hands in, wave yourself up. Upward facing hands, shallow back bend, chest opening. Squeeze the front line of your body. Hands in, forearms in, candle arms. Squeeze the legs in, high chair. Breathing. Elbows in front of your knees. Low chair. Standing on the right leg, left leg curls up. And choose your angle. Squeezing the body towards the midline. Don't lock your standing knee. Give it a micro bend. Squeeze your back line, especially that gluteal of the left leg, to lift that leg up. Release your hands to the corners of your mat. Top foot, top leg out to the right side in a curtsy lunge. Right arm waves up. Option to keep it vertical or around the back waist, or come into this bind. Breathing. Release the pose. This slow flow is a little bit slower than our usual. Knees bent, backs of the hands in, waving up. Push your hips forward, shallow back bend. Retract the scapula, chest opening. Squeeze the front line of your body to lift. Candle arms, high chair. Keep breathing, yeah, don't hold your breath. Low chair with candle arms, squeezing the body towards the midline. Standing on the left, right leg curls up. Warrior 3 variation. Squeezing the back line of your body, especially the gluteal. Lengthening up, pushing through your standing leg, but don't lock the knee. Release your hands to the corners of your mat. Top leg out to the left side. And come into your curtsy lunge. Lift that left arm up. Option to stay here or around your back waist and add that bit more of a twist, or hand and foot bind and lift that back leg up. Release your foot, release your pose, sit down on the mat. Once you're down here on the mat, come into your cobbler's pose. Blades of the feet together. You can hold on to either your shins, any point on your shins, your ankles, and hold on to your feet, or you can also hold on to the blades of your feet. This is a deeper version of the pose. Allow the back here to curve as you bring your hands, your anchors into place. Yeah? From here, wave the spine up. Belly in and up, chest up, head up, a bit of scapular retraction. Keep adjusting your feet closer to you. And exhale, soften. 2 more spinal waves in this pose. Baddha Konasana or cobbler's pose spinal waves. Belly in and up, chest up, head up, exhale, soften, wave back, and wave up, belly in and up, chest up, head up. From here, your right leg, hold on to it tightly on the blade of your foot and extend it forward. Your left hand on your left ankle and bring your foot in. Yeah? So it's practically a Janu Sirshasana, a head to knee pose, but just with this extended leg lifted. Yeah? Lengthening up here, belly in and up, chest up, head up. Now, activation and alignment of that lifted leg. Dorsiflexion, and then plantar flexion, flick the toes. Your hip, your right hip, internally rotates. Yeah? And your scapula retracts. We will do this pose again in the next sequence, but a full floating pose. So we're just doing the half floating for now. Soften the pose, bend your lifted knee. You can place the blade of the foot on your hand, on your forearm, or all the way up to the crook of your elbow. Allow your back to soften. That will necessarily have to happen to place your leg into position. Cradle your leg. Once you're in your pose, wave the spine up, belly in and up, chest up, head up. A bit of scapular retraction as well, if you can. Good. I do encourage you to move in that sequence of muscle and joint activations and allow for that softening during your transition and then activation, and feel the tension cable-like activation of the muscles. So when we say tension in our class, it doesn't mean the psycho-emotional tension, yeah? It's the mechanical activation of the muscles. So from here, soften your pose. Your left hand holds on to your right foot overhand grip or over the foot grip, yeah? Your right arm comes under and bring your leg as high as you can on your shoulder. And you can just hold on to your leg here. Soften again once when you're coming into the pose, and then let's activate the back. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. Feel that difference. Soften, collapsing down a little bit. Reset yourself and activate. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. And you can stay here if this is enough. If you want to, but this next one is quite strong, yeah? Lift your leg up. Your right hand presses down into the mat and come into Yantrasana or sundial pose. Gosh, it's hard to talk in this pose. Deep, full breath. This pose takes a long time to build the confidence to do, and I'm not even, in the swankiest version of this pose, but I'm happy where I am. Release the pose, release the pose. Blade of your foot, that's still the right foot, high up on your hip crease. In a half lotus. I hope you can see this. But barring the half lotus, if your joints are not happy here, come into a Siddhasana. And we also have a quick workshop on this one, yeah? So go to the workshop series, workshop room, and check this out. Hands in front of you. Lengthen your spine up, belly in and up, chest up, head up. Then on an exhalation, I'm doing the Siddhasana version first. On an exhalation, slide your hands forward until your sit bones lift up and you're in this pose, yeah? If you're feeling okay, slide forward until your chest is down on the mat, chin is down on the mat. I'm removing my front arm so you can see. Forearm is down on the mat. So forearm, chin, and chest are down on the mat. Gosh, it's hard to talk in this pose, but we will do it. Now, strong upper arms here. Press into the circles of your hands to lift yourself up and walk yourself back. A lot of control in this Libra flow, yeah? Come back to Baddha Konasana. Feet, blades of the feet together. Anchor your hands, soften your back. You can even rock side to side. Don't pull on your gluteal muscles. Wave the spine up. 2 waves. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. Lengthening up here. Exhale, soften. Wave back, belly in and up, chest up, head up. Soften, did I say two? One more. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. Soften without collapsing this time. Left hand, blade of the left foot, extend it up and forward. Right hand, right ankle, bring that foot in. Activation of your lifted leg. From a dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, toes flicked, internal rotation of your iliofemoral joint, your hip joint, and retraction of your scapula. Deep, full breath. Notice if you have a tendency to hyperextend that knee, yeah? If you're locking that knee, give it a micro bend. That's safest for your knee. Bend your left knee, blade of the foot, hand, forearm or elbow, cradle your leg, allow the back to soften while you're transitioning, then wave the spine up. See the difference and feel the difference. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. It's quite strong right here, lengthening out. And that scapular retraction as well. Soften the pose. Right hand, overhand grip on your foot. Left arm under and press your hand down on the mat. Or just cradle, a different kind of cradling the baby, yeah? Sundial prep. Stay here and wave the spine. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. This flow also has a lot of different arm binds, by the way, if you haven't noticed yet. Stay. Or if you want to try, left hand presses down, hike up that leg as high as you can on your shoulder and lengthen out. Oops, lengthen out that leg. In our sundial pose. Bend that knee. Bring that blade of the foot high up on your shin, high up on your hip, rather, in a half lotus or a siddhasana. Yeah. This time I'm doing the half lotus too. Finger pads down on the mat. Wave the spine first, belly in and up, chest up, head up, spinal wave. Then slide your hands forward, sit bones lift up, and stay high. Your elbows are lifted up. If your chest is high, your elbows are lifted up. So you're not collapsing down this way. If you're feeling okay, slide your hands a lot farther forward. Another option for this, forehead down. But your elbows are lifted up. Forearms are lifted up. So avoid that pinching in the corner of your shoulder. Or if you're also feeling okay from this point, chin, chest, chin, and forearms down on the mat. Breathing here. I can't look at the camera. Do not turn your head, please. I know I sound weird. That's because my chin is pressing down. To come out of the pose, strong awareness and strength in your arms. Press the circles of your hands down and walk your hands closer to you. Now you know what to do. Roll your shoulders. 1 or 2 more per side. So coming back to cobbler's pose. Just with the cues now, hands on your anchor, soften the back. 3 waves, belly in and up, chest up, head up. Exhale, accentuate that spinal wave. Inhaling up. Exhale, closing that wave, accentuated, waving up. You can rock forward and back. Exhale. Last one. waving up. Deep full breath. Right leg extends and floats up. Left leg comes in. Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion with toes flicked, internal rotation, retraction. We know which joints those are already, yeah? A half floating head to knee pose. Release the pose, choose your anchor hand, forearm or elbow. Soften the back, cradle your leg. Spinal wave, belly in and up, chest up, head up. I hope you feel that difference. Breathing. Release the pose, left hand overhand grip on your right foot, right arm either cradles your leg and lengthen the spine up, or come back to your sundial pose. Give yourself time to get to know this pose, yeah? Don't come straight into it. It is very strong in terms of confidence to do it, in terms of not listening to the ego. Don't let it goad you into coming into this pose if your joints and your muscles are not ready. Release the pose, Siddhasana or half lotus, half Padmasana. Hands down, wave the spine, and exhale, choose your depth. Lift the sit bones up, slide your hands forward, forearms and body lifted up, or forehead down with the forearms up, or chest, chin, and forearms down. Breathing. Strong arms, push yourself up, walk your hands back. Release your cross-legged, your Siddhasana or your lotus pose. 3 spinal waves in Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. Release the pose, accentuate that wave, waving back up. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling, waving up. Left leg extends, right leg comes in. Dorsiflexion, plantar, flicked, internal rotation, retraction. And again, we know which joints and which muscle complexes those cues pertain to, yeah? Release the pose, blade of the foot, your anchor, hand, forearm, or crook of the elbow, soften the back, then wave the spine up. In a static version of this cradling the baby. Release the pose, overhand grip on your foot, left arm under, and a different version of it, lengthen the spine once your arms are in position. Stay, yes, stay if this is enough, or come back into your sundial pose on this side. Don't rush coming into this pose. If you've noticed, I do a lot of those small twitching-like movements. I know it's odd to say that, but if that's what my body needs to prepare for the pose, then that's what we do, yeah? And exhale, release the pose. Come back to your half lotus or open cross-legged pose, the Siddhasana. Hands down on the mat. Just wave the spine one more time before coming into this more thoracic back bend. Slide forward, sit bones up, stay high or forehead down or chest, chin and forearms down. Breathing. Don't turn your head. Push yourself up. Walk your hands back. Roll the shoulders. Release your Siddhasana or half lotus back to cobbler's pose. Just one final wave here. Belly in and up. Chest up. Head up. Now from here, if you need your sit bones and your coccyx need padding, please slide it under your seat now. If not, let's continue on. From here, with your body activated in your cobbler's pose, lift your feet up. We will be doing our full seated balancing poses here. Huh? Lengthening up here. Again, there's a lot of cable tension kind of activation between your arms and your legs. Here, by the way, scapular retraction. So your shoulders are not pulled forward. You're kind of pulling your legs in. Now, floating head to knee pose. Right leg extends. Dorsiflexion of both ankles. Plantar flexion of both ankles. Toes flick. Now, internal rotation of the right hip. External rotation of the left hip. So essentially, you stay in your pose, but your hips are turning, yeah, towards the same direction. At this time, they're both turning towards the left. And then scapular retraction. Breathing, floating head to knee pose. Coming back to your cobbler's pose, lengthening up the spine to the left side. Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, toes flick, internal rotation of the left, external rotation of the right. And then scapular retraction. Breathing. If you fall out of this pose, just release your hands, roll back and roll back up, yeah? Don't worry about it. Coming back to cobbler's pose. Now, both legs open up. Small letter U. I don't know if you can see my angle. I'll angle myself a little bit more. Small letter U, big letter U, or a small letter V, or a big letter V, yeah? Up to you. The angles of your leg, totally up to you. From dorsiflexion, come back to a plantar flexion. Leave your hips in neutral, whatever angle they're in. And then, this is quite strong. Scapular retraction. Bending your elbows, lifting your legs up. Spinal lengthening as well. Don't collapse down. The sternum is still pointing up. I can't point with anything else but my chin and my lips. Bring them back in. Good. Land them down on the mat. Extend your right leg forward. Right leg forward. Hands in fists. Bring them behind you. Lift yourself up and angle for our full head to knee pose, our full Janu Sirsasana. Bent leg, tuck those toes under the thigh. You're welcome to grab your strap. If you want to, bring it around the balls of your foot or just relax your arms flanking your leg. The sternum, a little bit of a twist, but just parallel to the leg. We also have a workshop on this. Lengthening up here, belly in and up, spinal wave, chest up, head up. Anchor your hands wherever they'll reach. If you want to come deeper, soften down, hold on or bind and wave up. Lengthening up once again. Breathing here. A very active version of the pose, meaning to say there's a lot of muscle activation. Soften here, release the pose. Left hand on the blade of your right foot, right hand behind, and come into a low closed belly twist. Turning from your hips, navel, sternum, nose. Still honoring that spiral action, moving the spine in that sequence. Breathing. Release the pose, coming back to center. Right arm and hand on the arch side of your foot. Reach forward. Yeah? Reaching forward. Curve of the thumb, curve of the hand on the arch of your foot. So arch of the hand, arch of the foot. Left hand, left arm reaches forward. Then again, honor the spiral of the spine. Open up hips, navel, sternum, nose, and come into an open belly version of this head to knee pose twist or rotation. Breathing. The top arm, don't leave it flat. It's reaching up to open your side, yeah? Lifted arms, they're not just decor. They can help in opening up that side. Squeeze the left side, lift out of this pose. Left hand behind where it will naturally fall. Push yourself up. Right arm leads the way into this counter pose. Top arm vertical, start with this because this top arm will feel really heavy later. So stay with this if this is enough, or bring that arm into a diagonal position. And once again, that lifted limb is reaching. It's never slack, yeah? It's reaching up. From here, top hand comes down in line with your left in a plank position, yeah? Reset the body so that your right side is in a plank. Left leg, you have an option to come to a full plank or bring that leg on top of the right, yeah? Now, from here, don't dip any deeper than your elbows, but bend the elbows, small click. Push up, feel that height of the body. Exhale, bend. Pushing up. Exhale, bend. That's 3. Push up. Last 2, bend. Chaturanga. Push up. And bend. And push back up. Lift the belly up. Yeah? Release the pose. You are now facing the back end of your mat. And come back into cobbler's pose, squeaky floorboards. Hold on to your foot, anchor your hands to your foot, cobbler's pose. Wave the spine, belly in and up, chest up, head up. From here, lift the legs up, floating cobbler. Remember to retract your scapula. Right leg extends. Ankles dorside, plantar, toes flick, hips turn to the left side. So internal rotation for the right, external rotation for the left. Then add your scapular retraction. Bend your knee, floating cobbler's pose. Let's pare back the cues a little bit, yeah? Left leg, floating head to knee pose. Position your ankles, the toes, the hips, the upper back. Bend your knee, floating cobbler's pose. Choose the opening of your legs. Small or big letter U, small or big letter V. Ankles dorsal, plantar, stop there, neutral with the hips, and scapular retraction. Breathing. Again, if you fall out of the pose, if you lose your seated balance, just roll back and roll back up and join me. Yeah? Don't worry about it. Bend your knees. From here, feet down, left leg extends. Hands in fists, bring them behind, and reset the angle of your sit bones. Wave the spine up. The active version of our Janu Sirsasana first. Soften the body, anchor your hands around your foot or any point on your leg with or without a strap, and wave the spine up. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. Check out our workshop on head to knee pose. And exhale, soften and come into the more soft restorative version of this pose. Right hand, blade of the foot, of the left foot, left hand behind, closed belly twist. Feel that lengthening right here. I really feel it here in my QLs, and that's actually what head to knee pose, poses and its variations aim to lengthen. Release. Left hand and arm on the inside of your left leg. Arch of the hand to the arch of the foot. Right arm reaches forward first. Then honor the spiral motion of the spine to open the body in an open belly twist. A low revolved version of this pose. Breathing. How are we doing? Top arm reaches, yeah? Squeeze your right side, release a pose. Bring your hand to the top horizon of your mat, wherever it will naturally fall. Left arm leads the way into the counter pose. Reach up first in a vertical position, then mindfully angle that arm in a diagonal position. That shoulder and arm will feel heavy in this angle, so just be aware of that, yeah? Push through your standing arm, but don't lock your elbow. Release a pose, hands in line with each other, a la plank. Reset your left side in your plank and choose full plank or just cross your right leg on top of the left. 3 pumps here. Adjust yourself. 3 pumps. Chaturanga. Bend. Push. Bend. Push. Feel that lift of your body and your belly. Bend. Push up. That's 3. 4. And last one. 5. Release the crossing of your legs if you went there. Knees down and push back. Cobbler's pose. Now we know what to do. Let's make this nice and smooth. Anchor your hands to your foot. Cobbler's pose. Spinal wave. Floating cobbler. Right leg. Floating Janusirsasana. Activate or angle your ankles, toes, hips, upper back. Breathing. You're still hugging and lifting your abdominal muscles. Release the pose. Floating cobbler's pose. Left leg. Position the ankles, toes, hips, upper back. Breathing. Again, these longish holds are really nice to just quiet what's happening in the mind and in the heart, yeah? Without pushing them away, just being able to observe in a quiet space. Back in, floating cobblers, wide-legged, seated balancing pose. Going through the activation of your joints to engage the muscles and engaging the muscles to position the joints. I think that last set comes first, actually. Coming back in. Right leg extends. Set yourself. Janusirsasana. Wave the spine up. And exhale. Anchor your hands on your leg. With or without a strap. You're welcome to always use your strap if you want to. Spinal wave. Active version. And exhale. Relaxed version. Left hand, blade of the right foot. Right arm behind. Closed belly twist. Release. Right hand reaches forward first on the arch side of your foot. Arch of the hand to the arch of your foot. Left hand reaches forward. And then a low revolved head to knee pose, opening up. Your lower arm, your right limbs are actually pushing against each other to help you with your twist. Yeah? Breathing. How are we doing? Smile. Squeeze your left side, come out of the pose. Hand down behind you, counter pose. Start with the vertical arm, then come into a diagonal arm if you want to. Release the pose, hands on the plank, and choose your plank pose, full or cross-legged. Just 3 of these. Bend, push up. Feel the lift of your belly. Bend, push up, bend, push back up. Release your legs, cobbler's pose. Release your legs, cobbler's pose. Lengthening up here. Resetting myself to avoid those squeaky floorboards. Floating cobbler's pose. Breathing. Left leg in our Janusirsasana, floating version. Set the ankles and toes. Set the hips, set the upper back. Breathing. You're even welcome to close your eyes, by the way, if you feel like it, and if you feel you've got your balance. Release the pose, floating cobbler. Right leg, floating head to knee pose, ankles, toes, hips, upper back. Release, floating Baddha Konasana. Wide-legged, floating, seated balancing pose. Long names. Remember to activate your upper back here. I know it's really strong. Release the pose. Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. The full version. The one that's securely down on the mat, yeah? Soften the body first. Set yourself. Wave the spine up. And then set your anchors, your hands on your strap or any point on your leg. Once they're there, wave the spine, belly in and up, chest up, head up. A few breaths here. And exhale, melting down, release your arms, let the head go even. Remember, this extended leg is always in its position, yeah? It's always active. Don't let it droop down to the side. Right hand, blade of the left foot, left arm behind, low closed belly twist. Breathing. Release the pose. Left arm on the inside of your left leg. Arch of the hand connects to the arch of the foot. Right arm reaches forward. Low, open belly twist. Your left limbs are pressing into each other to actually help you torque the body into a more open twist if you want to. It can get really strong though, yeah? Extend that top arm. This is why we call our classes scalable intermediate, because you can always choose back to paired back poses or choose to challenge yourself. It's all up to you, your practice. Squeeze the right side to lift out of that pose. Right hand behind, the counter pose. A very nice, very graceful counter pose. Breathing. Vertical or diagonal, up to you. Release the pose, top hand down, set your cross-legged plank or your full plank. Just 3 of these. Bend, push up, bend, push up, bend. Always keep an eye out for your forearms. Release the pose. Knees down, push back. Extended child's pose. And wave yourself up. From here, turn to face the long horizon of your mat. So turn to face the long horizon of your mat. Yeah? Hands down on the mat. Step your feet on the mat and open them nice and wide. Where the width of which, the distance of your feet depends on your comfort level, yeah? Not overly wide. Challenge yourself, but you can also pare it back to a little narrower, yeah? Or closer distance, rather. Bring your hands, let's set ourselves up first. With your legs nice and wide, so bend your knees, bring your arms, your hands in line with your feet, yeah? This is our starting point. And I will just do it sideways so you know the angles. From here, extend your arms forward and push through your sacrum, down your back, down your arms into the circles of your hands as you lengthen your legs. So this stance is a short stance because the line of your hands and the line of your feet are shorter from each other. Wide-legged, because obviously the legs are wide apart, downward facing dog. So it still feels like a downward facing dog, only that your legs are wide apart and your legs are closer to the line of your hands. Yeah, and I will just reset myself. I also call that stance my pyramid dog, yeah? So, from our pyramid dog, the sensation as well, by the way, is as if you're being pulled towards the back. So you're pushing through your arms, through the circles of your hands, through your legs, but don't lock your legs here. From here, without moving your foundations, your anchor points, your hands and your feet from where they are, bend your right knee. Side lunge. So it's a pyramid dog with a side lunge. Push through your leg and come back to center. Now bend your left leg. Side lunge with the left leg. You can even bob yourself up and down here just to feel for that lengthening in the underside of your leg, especially the adductor muscles, the muscles on the inside of your thighs. Push back to center and a few more side lunges. You can bob yourself up and down, like I said, to the left side, right side, left side. Now from here, let's do some circling dogs. From your pyramid dog, bend your right knee, circle up the right side, through the right side in an arc, then stop at center. Let's just pause here for a while. This feels like a plank, only that your legs are wide apart, yeah? So pyramid dog feels like a downward facing dog. This one feels like a plank. Bend your left knee, drift down the left side, and push back to center towards the back. Left side, bend the left knee, circle up the left, center a la plank, down the right, and to center. And a few more. Right side. Enjoy the movement. Yeah, it's a very graceful, quieting pose. It's quite a different movement for the body as well. Circling, pyramid dog circles. Good. And a few more. Breathe with your movement. Yeah, however that logic of breath and movement is for you, just honor that. And last one, coming back to center. Bend your knees and walk your feet a little bit closer together, just a little bit. Walk your hands back in line with your feet. Now you are welcome to use a strap, a proper yoga strap, or anything that can function as a strap, or you can also monkey grip if you want to. With a strap, let's start with the strap. Hold on to your strap with your left hand. Bring that arm around the back waist. Now this next one is going to be really strong for the shoulder joints, so please don't hurt yourself, okay? Right arm under the right side, not the center, the right side, the right leg. And hold on to that strap. So you're binding your arms to the right side. From here, slow, mindful movements. Again, don't hurt yourself. Body weight to the right side. Yes, you are squeezing that right arm, and it helps a little bit with your bind. I'm binding. I'm monkey gripping. Push through your right leg and to the left side. Lengthening now. Push back to center, right. Center, left. Center, right. Enjoy the feel of your legs, feeling really long and strong. Good. And one more to the left side and back to center. Release your arms. Whew. And move your strap aside if you're like me and it fell. Hands a la plank. Bend your right knee and bring your arms with it. So your hands are a la plank towards the right side. Left leg curls up and step it out to the right side. Back into our curtsy lunge. Right arm waves up. And you have your choices here. Vertical, around the back waist, or with a bind. Choose your curtsy lunge variation now. Release. Step back out, back into that wider version of your standing goddess. Yeah? Start with your hands once again in line with your feet. Extend them forward. Push to the line of your back, your arms into the circles of your hands. Lengthen your knees. Pyramid dog. Pyramid dog side lunges. Left side. Center, right. Enjoy the sensation of your movement. Enjoy that sensation of really lengthening your legs. I'm a short person, but when I do this, I feel like my legs are really, really long. It's quite nice. And yes, I am still talking, and I am expecting that you are moving with me, yeah? Of course, you're welcome to stop and rest whenever you need to, but I just can't look at the camera at the moment. Back to center. Reset yourself should you need to. Bend your left knee. Circling dogs up, center, a la plank. Down the right and to the back. Good. And a few more. Right side, center, down the left and back. Reset your pyramid dog. Left, center, right and back. And a few more. You're welcome to synchronize your breath and your movement, however that makes sense to you. Whether you're inhaling to circle up and exhale to circle down, or reverse, yeah? Just breathe. Stop back at the center. Bend your knees and walk your feet a little closer. Bring your hands in line with your feet. Right arm, with or without a strap, around your back waist. Left arm, around that around and under, yeah, that left thigh, not the center of the body, not the crotch, and monkey grip or hold on to your strap. Bend your left knee. It is a strong compression for that shoulder joint, so just be mindful in your movement. Center, right side. Center, left, right, and just pare back that depth of the side lunge. However, you can go deeper or stay shallow. Maybe it's just a small shifting of the body weight side to side. That's okay too. Or come nice and deep. Up to you. Back to center. Release your arms. Push yourself up slightly. Arms, upper body a la plank. Left knee bends. Bring your arms with it. And your right leg curls up. Steps out to the left side in our curtsy lunge. Left arm lifts up. And choose your pose. No right or wrong here. You can experiment with any of the poses here, any of the variations. You can mix it up and release. Walk your legs nice and wide once again. Last set, yeah? Stay with me. That's it. Knees bend, legs wide. Extend the arms. Pyramid dog. Let's do this together. Right side. Shift. Center. Left. Center. Right. Center. Left. Center. One more set. Right. Side lunges, pyramid dog side, left, center, right, circle up, center, circle down the left, center, just two more, bend, circling up the left, center, down the right, center, last one, circle up the right, center, down the left, center. Walk your hands in line with your feet. Walk your feet a little bit closer. Left arm around the back waist. Right arm with or without a strap under and around the right leg. Just a few shifts side to side. Right side. Center, left. Center, right, center, left. One more per side. Right side, center, left side, center. Release, hands on a plank, push your chest up. Side lunge, right side, bring your hands and your arms with it. Curtsy lunge, left leg out to the right side. Right arm waves up. Choose your pose. Breathing. Top arm releases. Release your pose. And back into our wide-legged stance. Last set of this, I do promise. Hands in line with your feet first. Gain your stance. Arms forward. Pyramid dog. Breathe. Don't rush. Big tendency to rush the last part of any flow. Side lunge. Left. Pyramid dog side lunge. Center. Right. Center. Left. Back. Right. Back. One last one. Left. Center. Right. Center. Last slide lunge to the left. 3 circles. Up the left. Don't rush. Center. Down the right. Center. Up the right. Down the left. And back. Last one. Up the left. Down the right. And back. Knees bend. Walk your hands in line with your feet. Walk the feet a little bit closer together. Right arm around the back waist. Left arm around and under your left leg. monkey grip or with a strap. Body weight to the left side. Don't hurt yourself. Center, right. Center, left. Breathe. Back, right. Back. Last one. Center, up, and right. The depth of this will come in time. Release your arms, a la plank. Bend your left knee, bring your arms with it. Right leg curls up and curtsy lunge out to the left side. Right arm lifts up and choose your pose. Vertical, around the back waist, or with that lifted leg bind. Up to you. Top arm releases back down on the mat. Step yourself to the center and sit down. Come back to our Baddha Konasana. How we started the flow, yeah? Just rock side to side. Good. And just a few more spinal waves. Belly in and up. Chest up. Head up. Close your eyes here. Soften. Belly in and up. Keep adjusting your hands. Chest up. Head up. Soften. Last one. Waving up. Deep full breath. Lengthening up here. Hug and lift. Without collapsing the spine, the back. Soften the pose. Come into your Siddhasana or an open cross-legged pose. Rest your arms on your hands on your knees rather. Rolling shoulders, just reset the breath. Now before we end the class, just bring your knees back together. Hug your knees in a seated child's pose, yeah? We demanded a whole lot of contraction from our back, especially our upper back, so this is a nice release. And before we pop off the mat, let's do a sacroiliac joint massage, as we always do. Roll down, hug your knees in, and do some circles. If you have a ponytail like I do, just move it out of the way so your head doesn't slide on your ponytail. Massaging the SI joint. Now, if you want your Shavasana, you're welcome to extend your legs down on the mat, relax your arms beside the body, and come into your Shavasana. But if you're feeling okay, or you have other things to do in your day, you can come with me. Roll yourself back up into a seated pose. Just reset yourself. Reset the hair. Come into a Siddhasana. Close your eyes. Rest your wrists on your knees. Roll the shoulders. You can close your eyes. And have a few deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Just to equilibrate the senses back to the waking world. Equilibrate the breath rate and the heart rate. You're also welcome to do this in your Shavasana, this breathing, just a circular breath. You can flutter your eyes open. Thank you very much for joining me in our Libra Full Flow, and I will see you in the next class. Bye!